The following program contains mature subject matter. Viewer discretion is advised. Alexandra, knowing, a little bit about the law, informed consent, and intent, I would guess that in stealthing, this could be a difficult legal challenge proving the intent. You can always come up with an excuse, it slipped, it broke, whatever. Is it difficult to prove stealthing in a court of law?
There certainly may be some obstacles, but I actually don't think it's going to be that different than, let's say, a sexual assault case where there was no one else in the room besides the two people, and a jury has to decide whether there was consent. And one thing that, I will say that I am excited about with this California law is that it makes stealthing a civil offense, not a criminal offense. And a benefit to survivors from that is that they don't have to prove that this happened beyond a reasonable doubt, which is what's required for a criminal conviction. I think so many people, when they think about sexual violence, they assume that the obvious remedy is for a criminal prosecution, and that's where the government brings a case against a defendant. And if the government wins their case, that person goes to prison. But across the country, all kinds of sexual violence are not only criminal offenses, but also civil offenses. And a civil suit works where the victim themselves brings a lawsuit against the person who hurt them. And that can be really important for a lot of reasons. For one, if the government decides not to take up a survivor's case, they're out of luck with a criminal prosecution. They don't have control over that. But with the civil lawsuit, it's the victim's decision whether to move forward. And I have to tell you, that can be really empowering for a lot of people who've just had the chance to make a decision about their life taken away from them. And now they get to exercise their autonomy. They get to make a decision. And also, at the end of a civil lawsuit, no one goes to prison, but often the defendant will have to write a check to the person who they hurt. And I know that for some people that can almost sound like an insult, like you're putting a price on sexual violence. But what a lot of survivors will tell you is that that money can really help them get back up on their feet. It can help them pay for mental health care, for other kinds of medical care. It can help them take time off from work so that they can heal, all of which can be actually more meaningful to them than seeing the person who hurt them in prison.
Yeah, it's a consequence.
I mean, this law on the books has to act as a deterrent, that your behavior, there are consequences.
Right. Dr. Holly, I want to peel back the layers on this. Tell us exactly how stealthing is actually a form of sexual assault.
Stealthing lives in complete opposition to consent. So stealthing is a form of sexual assault because consent was taken away in the middle of the experience. We have to remember that sexual assault doesn't have to be violent. It only has to be non-consensual. So choice is completely taken away, and this has huge ramifications for the person that this happens to. If it's a woman, she could become pregnant or contract a sexually transmitted infection. For a man, he could contract a life-changing sexually transmitted infection. Good sex starts with good communication, and stealthing is absolutely the opposite of that because it's secretive, subversive, and really incredibly damaging.